Good morning and welcome back to another video, and today is another day of the 0 to Gold Cap Challenge. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. Okay, so today we are going to be starting Shadowmourne. This is going to be in a part series because some things will require a couple of parts in order to do, and this will be an ongoing thing. Once all of the parts are done, I will do it as a one massive summary video in order to do this. And we are starting off with our fresh toon, which is my lovely warrior. Obviously, I've done this already on my Death Knight, but obviously you don't want to see the same thing twice. So what do we need in order to start the Shadowmourne questline? Because we can't find the quest from Mograine right now, even if we have trivial quests open. Now, that is because we are not friendly with the Ashen Verdict. So what you need to do, if you don't even have the Ashen Verdict on your character, so to speak, and this guy's at neutral, to learn the reputation is just go up to anyone with the Ashen Verdict. There is the Quartermaster right here. Just talk to him and he will make you neutral immediately. The next stage is you're going to be wanting to clear the trash, and we're going to be doing this together, and it will take you 4 runs to clear the trash of mobs for getting the friendly with the Ashen Verdict. Once that is done, you are able to then crack on and carry on with all of the other little bits. So what we're going to be doing is we're just going to be burning down all of these different guys until we actually become friendly. And as of then, we should be able to see a lovely quest pop up for us from Mograine in order to start the Shadowmourne questline. So we're just going to run around. We have literally half a bar to go. The trash, if you kill all of them up to the first boss and then go out and reset the instance, it will take you roughly around about 4 runs. You can obviously loot all of this stuff, but really in most respects it doesn't really equivalent to that much. To be honest, all you really want is the lovely Frostweave cloth, and this guy has now got mind on the money, apparently, for some reason. But now all of the quests have now popped up. We want to go over to the High Lord Mograine, and he's going to ask us a question of the Sacred and the Corrupt. So what it's going to ask you to start the Shadowmourne questline is, we've now just become friendly with the Ashen Verdict. We've got the quest. We'll accept it. So what he wants us to do is get hold of Light's Vengeance. We'll get onto that part in a second. 25 Primordial Saronite. So what we need to do for this quest is to go over to this guy over here in the Legacy Justice Quartermaster. And this will cost you 3,750 gold. So this is more of an investment, and we'll buy 25 Primordial Saronite for him, and we will then keep that in our bags. Now obviously when you're doing this on 25 man, you do obviously get Primordial Saronite, but it's just easier to just buy it straight up, so you know you've got that Primordial Saronite to craft your Shadowmourne. Stages, we're going to go after Festergut's Acidic Blood and Rotface's Acidic Blood. So this is in the Plague Quarter before we go up to Professor Putris, and this will lock us to the raid. So what you need to do on this one is to make sure that you are always, when you're doing the Shadowmourne questline, to be on 25 man normal or heroic. Doesn't really matter, has to be 25 man. It will come in later as well when you're actually doing this, and later on it is required that you have to be on 25 man. So nice rule of thumb starting off the actual thing, just make sure that you're always on 25 man to do this, because it will make your life a hell of a lot easier going forward. Now, for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to Blade Storm, kill Mr. Marigar, and we actually got a Primordial Saronite going through. So maybe it's worth picking it up once you've actually done the raid, but there's a little side note for you there. Maybe pick up all the Saronite after you've done the first part of the raid. Now, you'll only be doing a few bosses coming up to this, but at level 120 you shouldn't have a problem on 25 man for all of this jazz. So we're just going to go up to Lady Death Whisper, and we're going to take her out. So let's just kill her and all that jazz. I haven't used my warrior in ages, so I can't remember how you actually play warrior. Yeah, it goes to show how much I play my warrior, right? Yeah, but we want So what we're actually going to be doing in the meantime, without doing all of our other different types of farms, we're going to be working towards 2 Shadowmournes. Obviously, I've transmogged Shadowmourne on both of the characters because they're going to be searching for the Shadowmourne. So that is what they're going to be aiming for, so to speak. So aside from that, it's judging by what's actually going on. We're just going to kill the first few bosses. And this quest line is really, really simplistic when it comes down to it. All you have to do is then just make your way over to Rockface and Festagut, and you just have to kill them. There's no special trick or anything. It's literally just do it, so to speak. So it's really not that bad in order to do. So we're going to start the event on the lovely machine, and we're just going to make our way over here, and we're just going to crack down and make sure that we're here. So the next stage is to just stay in the cannon and wait for the ship event. Now, I ran through this the other day, so it's pretty simplistic in order to do. It's just take out the ships. So as we keep coming forward, obviously this is a walkthrough, so we're going to be doing this as a full video, so to speak. So, and then once we've actually done this, we will then do it as a summarization video for people who just want to crack on and get it done. And this is going to require a little bit of clicking, but once you killed all the cannoneers, you have won. There are a couple of guys will spawn, but they won't do much. They'll just stand still, and you've won the event. So that's one way of knowing that you've won the battle, is if those guys spawn and obviously do that. So I'm on a boat. I've just got a nice little achievement because this is a fresh tune, so to speak. So I moved these up 2 characters from Thunderhorn Realm over to Argent Dawn, which I'm playing on, and obviously I can't really do that on multiple servers at the moment, so we're just going to be playing with all my lovely 120s, which are going to be pretty damn good on all that jazz. I played around with his transmog a little bit. I'm not too keen on it, but it works for what we're working for. That's besides the point. So what we're going to do, we're going to start the Sourfang encounter, and we're just going to make our way over to Sourfang to do his lovely little bits and all that jazz. What we have to do is just basically just make sure this guy dies, and we'll just have to do all that jazz and just execute him, but you're dead. Done, done, and done. So then all we gotta do is just make our way over, grab all that stuff. Remember that you can still get the battle pets from this when you're actually doing this, just from Sourfang. If you're running up to Rockface, it will provide you a little bit better later on when you're doing your infusions. Obviously, I'm going to do those as a part videos because some of them require a couple of friends, such as the blood infusion, and I need to organise something with you guys if you want to help on my realm. If you play EU, any help will be great when I get to the blood infusion, and then we can just crack on and get that done, so to speak. So looking forward to all of that stuff. We will be running through the gold for the day as well, and we're just going to get over to the plague part, which is the lovely little area over here. So what we're going to do is just going to get through all these mobs. Just don't worry about them too much. Just make sure that they die, and they're pretty easy. You can pretty much just take them down as and when, and just make sure that we can get over to the characters. So what we need to do now is we're going to have to kill Stinky. So let's just kill Stinky and make sure that he dies. Ta 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 ta. I really don't have a problem. You could probably leave him up if you really wanted to. I just tend to love killing things. Don't we all? And the next stage is to go up to Festagut and just basically nuke him. It's that pretty much self-explanatory. It's not that hard in order to do, and we'll just execute him, and he's dead. So now we've got Festagut's acidic blood, and we've just got to make our way over to Rockface, and then we've got to get hold of Light's Vengeance. So getting hold of Light's Vengeance is not too hard, and this is a nice way in order to pull in like a good 500,000 gold by doing the Shadowmourne. On average, it's about 500,000 on some servers that aren't high pop like myself. It's worth it's worth a hell of a lot more gold, all of the different bits. So let's run over to Rockface, we'll take him on, and we'll just have to beat him senseless, so to speak. And then execute, and then just do that again. He's dead. We've got Rockface's acidic blood. Now you don't want to go over to Professor Putricide just yet, because we'll need him for a lockout. And the next thing that we want to do is make sure that your Hearthstone is set to Dalaran, and that is the Northern Dalaran, because this will make your life a lot more easier to getting it done pretty damn faster, so to speak. So we need to get hold of Light's Vengeance. So Light's Vengeance in the lore is Arthas's hammer that he used when he was in the Knights of the Silver Hand, and we've got to go collect it, which will come into a nice little encounter with Arthas, because he's a douche and he basically doesn't like us very much. And to be honest, I don't blame him, so to speak. So we're going to make our way over to Dragonblight now, because we have our 25 Primordial Saronite and Festagut and Rockface's acidic blood. So now it's just a case of getting hold of Light's Vengeance so we can then give it in. So once that's done, we should be all right, and it is a nice little cave down here. So when you're actually following this, it is the cave. So if I pull up the map, it's this cave right here that Light's Vengeance will be inside of. So all you got to do is just fly your way in, and there will be a load of air elementals, and it will phase out all of the mobs inside of there, because Light's Vengeance will be there. And you will see it because there will be a nice little piece. And you have been stopped by the Lich King. You'll get a load of dialogue, so if you're like a lore fan, this is a great way, because this was... the Shadowmourne questline is built for a legendary quest item for the axe. That's when legendary items actually meant something, so to speak, as well as the vanilla ones. Now you get a cloak just by doing a really crappy quest line, so to speak. So I don't understand that myself. This was like a big thing back in the day of getting Shadowmourne, because you had so much to do to get hold of it, and this is why it takes such a long time to even do. Now he's about to raise a load of dead ghouls, and to be honest, it's not that hard anymore. I remember doing this back in the day, and yeah, it's really not that hard to do. And he's going to say that we're going to be dying, so all we have to do is just kill a load of stuff and get hold of Light's Vengeance. So we'll just run through all of these ghouls, make sure that they're all dead, and pick up Light's Vengeance. And now it is imbuing itself with holy light and all that jazz, and it will do a load of cool stuff, little animation around the screen. Now I've done this so many times and I still love this actual thing. It just basically destroys all of the ghouls you've just been fighting through, and obviously we're 120, so they're really not that bad. But back in the day, that was like amazing. If you could get to them really fast, you didn't have to clear all of these mobs. It just destroyed them all for you. And now we have the Vanguard dude. He is like a little mini boss that you have to kill. He's not that hard to do, and he is done. And we now have Light's Vengeance. So that is the first part to the Shadowmourne questline. All it's going to ask us to do now is to start with the infusions, and for obvious reasons, I'm obviously going to be splitting this up into parts so I can make sure that everyone is all set. And I'll be doing the Plague infusion in about a day or so, and then we'll get onto the Blood infusion. I'm considering doing it on Sunday or Monday. If anyone is available on those days, I would really appreciate the help with the Blood infusion for my characters. So that being the case, guys, let's get into the gold for the day. Now, of course, Shadowmourne is worth a lot of gold, and it isn't really the legendary item that you get. That is more just like something you get saying, yeah, I did the Shadowmourne questline. It's more along the lines of the sealed container you get along with it after you finish up the Shadowmourne questline and you receive all of the different items. So the Death Charger's Reins and the Sylvanus' music box, and an array of different types of items that are BOE, which you can then sell on the auction house or flat out have. Now, obviously, I've already done it on my Paladin, and I now have the the Death Charger's reins, which is awesome. I've kept that for myself, and we're going to be doing it on the Death Knight and the Warrior. Now, for obvious reasons, for me, I valued everything at about 700,000 gold per Shadowmourne, and for something that you do on the weekly, just building up and building up, it's an extra load of gold going forward. Now, people do make a lot of gold moving forward just by leveling a Paladin, Warrior, or Death Knight. They are the classes that are allowed to do the Shadowmourne questline, and people do actually just level a character up to nearly max and just do the quest line, get it done, and sell the bits, and then just create the next one and do it that way. It is a great way in order to make gold, so to speak, if you're willing to wait, so to speak. But I want to do this on the off chance, as and when, like casually, and then once we've completed it on both characters, we then get all of the stuff and just crack on and get it done. So the next part is to go over the gold for the day, which is 32,307 gold for the day, and we sold 290 dredged leather for 6,819 gold, and we also sold that the lifelike mechanical toe for 23,277 gold. And that's brilliant because we got that from Blackwing Layer literally last week, so I'm glad that that has sold. And obviously we're not at 500,000 gold anymore. That's because I sent off another 58,000 gold in order to craft the 2 more Vial of the Sands to keep those on the auction house at all times. So now we're currently sat at the profit because that is all the gold that we've actually got. This is excluding investment gold for the mount creations. We now have 482,803 gold. Obviously, if I included the gold for the investments, we'd have a lot more gold added on, which would probably bring us up to around about 560,000 for all of the mounts that are crafted, but obviously I'm not going to count that. So that being the case, guys, that is what we're doing at the moment. We're going to prep ourselves to get ready for the Shadowmourne questline. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be tomorrow. Have an awesome day, guys, and I shall see you soon.